For billions of years, the sun has ruled unchallenged. A sphere of fire and fury, shaping every orbit, every spark of life that dares to exist in its reach. Its light defines the boundary of our world, and its wind, a storm of charged particles, has always flowed outward, unstoppable. Nothing has ever resisted it. Nothing, until now. In early readings from NASA's Parker Solar Probe and the European Solar Orbiter, something strange appeared, a ripple deep within the solar wind. The plasma that should have streamed in perfect lines began to bend, twisting as if guided by something unseen. And at the center of that distortion was a visitor from the interstellar dark, *3I Atlas. At first, it seemed like another comet, a frozen wanderer from beyond our system. But soon, it became clear, this was no ordinary rock. Its light flickered in perfect rhythm, like a heartbeat. Every few seconds, the brightness shifted, not randomly, but precisely, as if responding to something. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned its gaze toward it, what it saw left scientists speechless. 3I Atlas wasn't just reflecting sunlight, it was changing it. The energy coming from it pulsed in patterns too organized to be natural. It was as if the object were speaking the language of light itself. And then, something even stranger happened. The sun's plasma, its unstoppable solar wind, began to curve around the object, bending in smooth arcs as though obeying its presence. Two different spacecraft, separated by millions of kilometers, recorded the same thing. The same bending. The same rhythm. The sun, for the first time in human history, seemed to be responding to something external. Scientists ran simulations, desperate for an answer. But no natural explanation fit. For a small body to alter the solar wind, it would need to control magnetic fields on a planetary scale, something beyond any known physics. Some researchers whispered a theory they were afraid to speak aloud. What if 3I Atlas wasn't a comet at all? What if it was *built? As data poured in, one pattern became undeniable. The object wasn't being shaped by sunlight, it was shaping it. Its glow dimmed when the sun's radiation peaked, and brightened when it faded, as if feeding on energy, storing it, and then releasing it back in controlled bursts. Like a machine designed to *harvest starlight. The Parker Solar Probe recorded symmetrical arcs of plasma forming around the object, the kind of magnetic geometry only a highly advanced electromagnetic field could produce. A shield. A self-generated magnetosphere strong enough to redirect the flow of solar particles. Earth has one, created by its molten core. But 3I Atlas was barely the size of a mountain. Whatever it was operating on the level of *stellar engineering. If it truly could control the solar wind, then it understood the sun better than we do. That kind of control, bending plasma, storing light, and communicating through radiation, suggested a mastery of energy that only a *Type II civilization could possess. One capable of harnessing the full power of a star. To some, it meant this was the fragment of an ancient machine, a probe designed to travel from one star to another, using solar winds as both fuel and guidance. To others, it hinted at something even greater, that this wasn't a machine at all, but a form of living energy a consciousness made of magnetism and light. When scientists analyzed the pulse intervals of its brightness, they found something chilling. Every modulation, every beat, matched subtle fluctuations in the sun's magnetic field. Not delayed, synchronized. The sun and 3I Atlas were moving in perfect rhythm, like two instruments playing the same song. If it was alive, its heartbeat was written in plasma. If it was a machine, its design surpassed everything we can imagine. Either way, the universe was no longer silent. As it moved deeper into the inner solar system, telescopes across the world watched in awe. The object seemed to learn, adapting to the sun's storms, anticipating flares before they erupted, bending the solar wind around itself like a cloak. Then, without warning, it began to dim. The magnetic ripples faded, and the distortion in the solar wind eased. 3I Atlas was leaving, gliding back toward the outer system, and eventually, the dark between the stars. No one knows where it came from, or what it wanted. Some say it was testing our sun. Others believe it was simply passing through, drawing energy before continuing its endless journey. But one idea haunts every scientist who's studied the data: maybe it noticed us. Maybe our telescopes, our probes, our curiosity triggered its attention. Because as the James Webb Space Telescope recorded its final dataset, a faint signal appeared in the background, a single repeating pulse, identical to the rhythm of the object's light, but aimed not at the sun, at Earth. Maybe it was nothing. A coincidence. A trick of plasma and interference. But maybe it was a message. If so, then humanity has just heard something we were never meant to hear: the whisper of a mind that thinks in energy, a being that travels between stars by bending the wind of the sun itself. The story of 3I Atlas isn't over. Somewhere out there, beyond the edge of our system, it continues its silent journey, carrying secrets older than our world. And maybe one day, when we've learned to understand the sun not as fire, but as language, we'll know what it came here to say.